Alright, so it's been a little bit over 3 months since the last Holy Relic tier list, so it's finally time to update it. So many new relics, as you can see. All of these individually represent the character the relic is made for. But of course, you know, if we're talking about, like, let's say, Green Brynhilda's Holy Relic, of course, I'm also talking about the effect on that and, like, Red Brynhilda as well. But yeah, let's rank all these new ones, and if you want, you know, just see the old ones. The old ones, I don't think I'm gonna make much of a change, except for one. The only relic I'm really considering putting down is, I think, Merlin. Only because of Merlin's actual effectiveness in the game in general. The relic itself is still very, very good. It's just Merlin hasn't been as good. Like, if you really think about a green character that is unknown, you know, you really think of Reamer, right? So I want to put down Merlin. Still a very powerful Holy Relic. It's still a Holy Relic I would recommend, honestly. But, you know, I think it's more fair because I'm going to be adding so many of these new relics towards the top tier that I think it'll be better for balancing. So yeah, let's first rank Festival Gopher. Now, Festival Gopher. I recorded this video and I uploaded it, and I forgot to add him to the list. Not because he's bad. Actually, his relic is actually incredible. But this is why I'm actually correcting. If you were one of the early people that actually catch that initial video, I deleted the video because I actually forgot him, and I think it's important to make the correction. Festival Gopher's relic is incredible. His relic alone makes him actually viable for dogs. Like, genuinely, that's how good the relic is. Because the extra 25% attack-related stats on top of the attack-related stats that he already gives from his own passive make it completely worth it. Also, in the initial video, if you end up catching it, which not many of you did, like maybe 1,000 of you, I made the video super long. It was like 18 minutes long, so I want to make this a bit shorter. Base, Liz, same thing for Gopher, actually. The relic is so good that it actually makes her viable for dogs. I'll be saying what the relics do in case you don't know. Fast Covers, of course, gives all allies 25% attack-related stats at max ultimate gauge. Super good if you can time it at a moment where you're gonna you know, blast all of your damage at once. And then Liz gives 15% HP related stats to all allies. So really good Holy Relic, incredible relic. Hawk. It's a decent relic, but only has one use, which is Guild Boss, which is why I'm only giving it the OK rating. Same reason why I gave the Fat King relic. They're basically the same. Gives her 30% basic stats. It's just for Guild Boss points, essentially. And, you know, Guild Boss is a big part of the game, I guess. If you're a big sweaty boy, like maybe I am. But 1% of players go for, like, high scores on Guild Boss. So, that's why I'm going to only put it okay. But, you know, it's still, an okay relic. It's just for one thing. And for the one thing it does, it's okay. In that same vein, Matrona's relic is the same thing. Matrona's relic gives giant allies 25% basic stats. And, you know, the only reason why you'd make Matrona's relic is for Guild Boss. And in that case, if you are making Matrona's relic, you gotta be very convinced you really want to make it, because it's dogs material, and dogs materials right now are very scarce. So I'm gonna be a little bit harsh on the dog relics, which makes me, you know, have to rank Diane's relic, base Diane's relic in the worst tier possible. I'm actually gonna pull up base Diane. So base Diane's relic, it's actually almost insulting because you would think, like, there were so many ways to make this relic super good, but what they gave her was heals HP by 30% of max HP if she crits. For a character that's super defensive, all they had to do was give her a relic that was like, gives her 10% max HP based on defense or something, or give her damage reduction based on defense. Something that would make her like super tanky would be so good, but instead they went with this and it sucks. It really sucks. It's a terrible Holy Relic. Chandler. It's a very good Holy Relic. I wouldn't say it's like crazy, mostly because of Chandler. Chandler himself just isn't the best. Right now in the meta, unfortunately, the way the game has been played out in PvP, the relic just doesn't do much. And in PvE, it's almost the same thing. For any activity that you'd run Chandler in PvE, there's not much of a difference because, you know, he just gives him damage reduction and extra HP. And it really contradicts his own way of being played because you want him to take damage from the counters, to do more damage with the counters, but he has damage reduction with the Holy Relic. So it's very weird why they gave him damage reduction. They could have given him just a shit ton of HP. And then he could take more damage, right? And dish out more damage. But giving him HP and damage reduction, they should have just given him like straight up 100% HP when he puts up the counter and stuff like that. But it's good. It's very good, actually. It's very good. It's just not up here. Zeldras. Zeldras' Relic alone makes him better than the new Zeldras, I think. You know, it's funny because I think that if the new Zeldras came out, without the Zeldras getting the Relic, I would say definitively the new Zeldras is better, but this Zeldras Relic making the enemies lose 10% attack-related stats when they attack is actually super good, and unfortunately, I think it gives you an edge over the new one. But yeah, very good Relic. I mean, again, for demons and for giants, I wouldn't really, even though I'm giving it such a high ranking, because I'm ranking based on how good a Relic is, I actually don't know if I would recommend people making Zeldras Relic, because it costs dog materials, and right now, I would say it's more worth waiting for Holy Relics like Assault Melee's Relic, and maybe even like Fast the End's Relic, I don't know. Like, we don't know when these characters are getting Relics, but, you know, it's good. If you use him regularly, it's a very good Relic to have. It's just super good. Moving on to, let's say Drow. Drow's okay. Drow's Relic gives all allies damage reduction the more buffs he has. It's a thing where you can't really control that too much. You need to go up to 8 buffs on him, and getting 8 buffs, I guess if you have, like, I don't know, a buffer in your team giving him buffs, it's feasible. But damage reduction, how it works in Grand Cross, it doesn't really make worth the effort to give him all those buffs, unfortunately. So Drow is just okay. He's just not a very good Relic. Now Skadi. Skadi's Relic, I want to say is busted, but I think I'm just going to have to put very good. I don't recall, honestly, the first recording, I think I put it here, but the problem with Skadi's Relic, it's more about her. Because the way the Relic works is you want her to not have any debuffs to apply the stacks on the Relic passive, but I'm telling you, how it works with Skadi is on the first turn, you do the remove buff card, right? For no reason, you're wasting it, right? Just to give the stack, and then you're using this card, and then from then on, you're never getting that third stack, because it stacks up to 3 times, so long as she has no debuffs on her. But I'm telling you, it's never gonna happen. It very rarely happens. Maybe not never, but it very rarely happens where you get the third stack off, because from then on, you want Skadi to have debuffs. You have, like, so the way that the Relic was designed, it's a bit flawed, because you want Skadi to have debuffs, but you also want her to get a third stack, so she gets more stacks, but it doesn't work very well. And Skadi is unfortunately dropping a little bit in relevancy due to Freyr. Like, if you pull Freyr, even at 1/6, I see no reason why you'd ever run Skadi in any of the demonic beasts. Skadi is still pretty good in PvP, and she's pretty good in guild wars and stuff like that, but it's just she's falling a little bit in relevancy because of Freyr. But the Relic is pretty good. Again, it's on the level of these Relics, and these Relics are very good. So, Sigurd. Sigurd's Relic is extremely powerful. Now, on the surface, it might not look that powerful because it's just giving him extra stats. But in practice, I'm telling you, there's a key difference between him with and without the Relic. So in PvP, increases the hero's basic stats by 25%, depending on the enemy of the highest CC. When he has the Relic, he becomes a tanking god. Like, him with Tarmiel Link is like a wall. Like, he just cannot die. Like, he's snatching, so he's lowering enemies' attack. And he has a huge pool of HP at that point, if you also have him with HP defense. He just tanks incredibly well, and you want him to tank because he's a support unit. And even with HP defense, because you're increasing his attack by so much, his attack card also hits hard. So he becomes a completely different character. It's like, he's at the bottom of this tier. It's like borderline this tier. a little bit, but I still think it's up here just because him with the End's relic, right? And actually, maybe I should decrease the size of this. Him with the End's relic, you know, makes for like the best team in the game, because then you have him with all these stats, and then you have her making so all Ragnarok allies can only take up to 50% of HP per hit, so you can't get one-shotted basically, and it's just such a powerful combo. It's just incredible combo. And then you have Brynhilda's relic, which then also increases her attack and makes sure that she can only be debuffed once, which on paper doesn't sound that good, but in practice it's so useful. I don't think it's worth putting here, but there are so many instances where blocking yourself from having more than one debuff is so useful. So many times, you know, enemies attack seal me, and then they debuff me again and remove the attack seal from Brynhilda. It's incredible. So yeah, Brynhilda's relic is also very powerful, and this ends all the relics. But yeah, this combo right here. So they dropped the Ragnarok characters with all these relics, and they clearly knew what they were doing, because it's such a powerful team. It is genuinely such a powerful team. I think the End's relic is like, I want to say top 3 best relics in the game. It's crazy. If you don't know what it does, let me just pull up. I just already said what it does, but just so you can see the huge wall of text that their relic is. In PvP, Ragnarok allies and the heroes, damage taken from skills during the enemy turn will not exceed 50% of max HP. Increases attack related stats by 1% for every 6% of remaining HP when using skills. Such a powerful holy relic. It's insane. This unit was mid, super bad. This unit was honestly just sad. And then they give her this relic, and she was like super good now. She's like broken tier almost. It's crazy. It's, yeah, the relic made the character just so much better. So relics are improving. Like you see, so many mid relics they've made. Like look at how many bad relics there are, or like okay, I guess how many like mid relics there are and bad relics. And then now with the new relics, so many of the new relics are super good. So they're doing a good job with that. Hopefully they keep up with it. And that's about it. So I managed to cut like 6 minutes out of the original video. Pretty good. I tried to like really speed run it because that one was way too long. All right, nice.